Loading after work.
How are we muted? That is my fault. Thank you, Dukasoft. Why do we keep doing this? It's totally my fault.
Last week it was my fault.
This time
This week
it's
it's your
definitely
fault.
my fault.
Okay, let's rewind with what?
Welcome to Coding After Work.
It's that time again.
Where we forget to press buttons.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a 2-day class, and I usually mute my microphone when I'm leaving the computer area, and I forgot to actually click on it again. Are we still on? Yes. No. Yes. Something was moving. So what are we doing today? Final touches?
Well, the plan was something completely different.
Yes. But
We
then
talk-
I went and ruined it.
Actually, I think I did.
Okay.
Or did you?
I think I ruined it.
Okay.
it's fine.
Someone ruined it. So we talked about doing some accessibility. We talked about doing testing and stuff like that. And I've actually been doing a little bit of that because I needed to do a little bit of research to understand Playwright and B-Unit and how these can work together and how
And
they
also
cannot.
on what testing framework to use.
Yes. So I actually sent out a tweet yesterday. Should we use MS Test, XUnit, or NUnit? And according to Twitter, the order is XUnit, NUnit, and way last MS Test.
Yeah. Almost not even on the map.
Yeah. So there was a couple of people advocating for MS Test because one of them was like, well, we have 30,000 tests and we're not going to rewrite them. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that makes sense in that case.
And there was a couple of people saying like, well, it falls under KISS, so keep it simple.
Yeah.
Stupid,
Simple. Just keep it simple.
I don't know.
I usually skip the last one because I feel it's a little bit rude.
Yeah. So some people actually preferred MS Test, but most people said XUnit. And the only real advantage that I found for NUnit is that it has a way to parallelize. Thank you. That's a kind of an impossible word to say, I think.
Yeah. A little bit.
Run test in parallel.
There we go. Loophole.
The XUnit has that, but NUnit has a little bit more when it comes to that. And the most important thing is that Playwright supports NUnit, and it says like, well, even though we support XUnit, you should probably not use it. But with that said, Twitter said that we should use it, so we're going to do that.
And everything
anyway.
on Twitter is, of course, the truth.
Yes?
Yes.
No? Not?
Of course.
Yeah, so, but I've done a little bit of preparing for that, but
we're not even going to do
No, we're
it, so I
not.
don't know what this rant was
this,
about.
This is kind of like what I've been doing this week.
Ah, okay, so we're catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been doing this week?
Teaching. And sleeping. And having migraines. That's about it. The weather we have here is very, let's say, migraine friendly. Or migraine hostile. It depends. It really...
It's warm, it's raining, it's
and there's
thunder,
thunderstorm. Yeah.
and it's, did I mention warm?
But it's not that warm. It's like 20, 22 degrees Celsius. It's not warm. It's not hot.
No.
It's humid.
Yeah.
And clammy and icky.
But that's not why we're here.
No. Because we thought that we are getting a little bit close to actually have something that we can put out
Yeah.
into the interwebs.
And I mean, it's always been out. We had a public site from day one, basically, but we haven't like pushed it anywhere. We haven't said, "Hey, look at this. This is the site." And I almost every time people are like, "Yeah, what's the URL for that site?"
Yeah.
Well, it's nexttechevent.com. Oh, you fixed the URL. No, but you can type that in and we'll get to the site.
Yeah.
So that is also something we need to do. We need to get a certificate and get SSL things up and running and stuff like that. But
So switch over to your computer?
yeah, sure.
Because I have the power.
You have the
There
buttons.
we go. I have all the buttons.
So first of all,
Which means I actually have this button as well. So, sorry, there will be a lot of cats today.
oh no, what have we done? So first of all, we want to thank our sponsors, Progress Telerik. They have been a supporter for the podcast, for the stream, and well, basically everything we do for a long time. So thank you so much.
They have awesome components, over 100 truly native components for Blazor, for instance, and they have for Maui and for whatever platform you need, probably.
I mean, look at this. They have for the web, they have for Blazor, ASP.NET Core, MVC, Ajax. I don't even know what Ajax is.
Silverlight!
You see, they have for
have
everything.
Yeah.
So if you need something, chances are they have it.
Yeah.
That's
for
definitely. Sure. Hey, look at that. UI for Unity XR.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. What's that? What's that? Hey, look, a dog.
Aww.
Skateboarding dog.
Yeah, but
reason.
it is virtual reality.
Oh,
so
look at this. So movement, teleporting, snap turns, tunnel vision.
This is...
When do you want to put that in a status of on? This is good. On. Tunnel vision.
We have a question. Are you sponsored by Telerik? As a personal being, for them is no way. Yeah. We are sponsored not with their software per se, but with they're sponsoring our podcast and our stream. And I know that some of these vendors are a little bit pricey if you are a personal being, like you say.
Yeah.
But as a company, it's not that expensive. But it's when you're doing a hobby thing, you might want to look into, at least in the beginning, before you get really, really rich on whatever you're developing. You might want to look into an open source library.
Yeah.
Like the one you have.
Yeah.
The Blossom
components.
Components, yeah.
But in reality, so I'm saying this from out of experience. We're using a open source library at work, for example. There is often a cost related to open source. So if you need help, it's probably there's going to be a price tag there.
And it's not always as straightforward as calling the support.
No. Or you might invest your own time, which is, of course, fine to do, as you said, as a personal being. You might not get that. You might want to invest more of your time to get the price tag down.
But as a company, investing your time is often more expensive.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
exactly like it says, trade-offs. There's always trade-offs for everything, for sure.
All right. So
yes. We need to fix some things.
we need to fix some things. We need to fix a lot of things, I think. So this is the state it's in right now. And I'm hoping, I think Jessica is going to talk a little bit about colors.
Yes.
But we also have a logged in version of this site.
Yeah.
And that looks like...
the poop emoji.
Or as Jessica would say, not as nice.
It doesn't look nice. It's true.
So we need to invest a little bit of time in there as well. And I actually did put in some time today because I found a bug and I didn't want to take up a lot of time to fix that. So I've actually fixed a little bit of a bug and I implemented a feature as well because I thought that it was better to have that from the get-go instead of doing it on stream. So are we talking about colors or...
What we need to start to fix things.
Yeah.
And it's not only about the colors,
No.
is it?
But I'm asking where we're going to start. Are we going to start with
No,
the
you
colors?
weren't. Well, for one, I ran this through a web page, which I was actually trying to find the URL to right now while you were. So let's start in the other end, so I can find the URL because it eludes me every time.
So we can start to talk a little bit about the logged in features that we have here. So I'm going to log in. I've fixed this. So we still need to a little bit more love here. We need to get the logo up here. Right now we just have the mic, but we have the correct colors happening here. So that's nice. So we can log in. And then we have my events up here. So here we will see a list of all the events that I have in some way shown interest for. It could be, in this case, NDC Sydney, NDC London. I'm saying that I'm interested in these events. So I can go into, let's go into attendees and let's search for our conference. Actually, let's go for Visual Studio Live here. So Visual Studio Live is happening right now. And Progress Telerik is actually raffling out my book.
Yeah, they have a bunch of them.
Yeah, so they have. I believe they have 30 books that they are raffling out to attendees.
That's nice.
So if we click this one, you'll see that we now have a quite ugly, not set drop down.
Yes.
So I can say, well, I am.
Or as I would say, not as pretty.
So I can say I'm interested in this event. I have submitted for this event. I've been accepted to the event. I've been rejected to the event. I've attended the event and spoke at. Now, spoke at, maybe we're going to remove that. I don't know. Because accepted or spoke at is probably the same thing.
It doesn't have to be, because one can be upcoming and one can be historical.
Yes.
So for now, let's keep it.
Yeah. So let's say that.
Also, glitter is here. I mean, lava soft.
So let's say that I actually I attended Visual Studio Live. I didn't, but let's say that I did. Mm-hmm. So if I pop back to my events here.
Which, by the way, we need to change the color of.
Yes.
And so do we need to do here.
Yes. So here you will see that we got the, and now it says attended.
Yeah.
It should actually say attending before the event.
Ah, nice one.
Those kind of things. So what I also did, which we can take a look at how I implement that, you'll see that when I'm logged in, you can see a little star here.
Yeah, we had some discussions around this because originally you had to click the event to actually add it to your list,
yes,
if you're interested or not. And we discussed that, and it's not efficient because sometimes you want to just browse through the list and like this and that I want to apply for, and then go through the list and actually applying. So that's why you put it out here in the open.
Yes. So basically what I can do here, if I'm interested in Google I/O, I will click the star once. So now I'm interested in the event.
And it will end up in the list you have.
Exactly. Let's pop back here and just see that. Oh, Google I/O is interested. So if I go back here and I click it once more, you'll see that, well, now it's actually submitted. I don't know if the icons are the best, but it's
a start.
Yeah, and it's also a title where it says submitted. If I click it again, you'll see that, hey, I got accepted. Or, nah, you didn't. But I did speak, no, I actually attended, and that's the order apparently. I attended or actually spoke at it. Or I can click it again and we're back to
Yeah, so you
nothing.
can, if you want to just go through them quickly,
Yes.
do it from the same page. Or you can go in and do your business in there.
So I went back and forth a bit with this. So I thought that, well, maybe just a star would be enough. But then I realized, well, I kind of want to be able to see that in this list that, okay, you are, I'm speaking at this event. So what we're getting for free now is that if we say, let's actually say that I'm interested in Google I/O, and I click Google I/O, you'll see that in this list, you'll see that, well, you're interested in this event. Now, this is probably kind of a bad UI because this is actually the same event that I'm currently viewing.
Yeah. But it would still be true if there's an overlapping conference.
So let's remove that one like so. So let's take a couple of moments just to show you how we implement that, because that is kind of a fun piece of code. At least I think that. So if we pop in here into our conference item, so the conference item is the item that shows the conference. So it's this item, and this is the same item as if I click a conference. This is the same kind of item, looks the same, works the same. So what I'm doing here is that let's scroll down
I
here.
see more things we need to fix. Carry on.
So we have the status. If the status is not null, which is that we have a status, and we're always going to have a status, even though if we are logged in, we're always going to have a status, and the status is going to be not set. That's always going to happen. So we're saying like, so if we are if we're not interested in it, or it's not set, it should actually say not set. And it goes through all the different icons here, or states.
Yeah, the toggle thingy.
Yes.
Or cycling rather than toggle, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. So down here, we're saying that, okay, if we don't have... Actually, I don't think we want to do... Do we want to do that? I don't think... Okay, we need to do... Okay. Authentication state task is never going to be null, but it is nullable. Because it's never going to be null because we're in the app, we are sending it into all the subcomponents. So in our application, it's never going to be null, but it is nullable.
Yeah.
So in this case, we're going to say, well, if it's null, we're just going to throw in an argument null exceptions. Never going to happen, but we need to do that because otherwise we would need to handle it down here instead. So say that if this is null and all of that. So we're getting the authentication state task, and what it's actually doing is that it's checking if we're logged in, and we are hopefully logged in. And if we're not logged in, well, then the user is going to be null, so we're not going to do the rest here. So we're going to pick up the user, we're going to check the user identity, the name, we're going to get the claims, which is one of the bugs that I fixed because we need to go with the name identifier instead, and I went with SID because I thought that would be...
Instead of what? I
SID.
mean, yeah, but where is this from? You're saying that like we all know what you mean. but we don't.
So we will come back to
Okay.
exactly where. But in the there were some places in the app where I used the SID instead.
Okay, got it.
And that apparently changes every time you log in.
Oh.
So in the world of Active Directory, that is going to be the identifier. That is the ID, basically. Not SSID, SID. But this one is like auth 0 pipe and a bunch of letters and numbers.
And it will stay the same for the same user.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as I have tested it right now, at least. So we're getting the status for the conference, and if we don't get a status back, if we get a status back, we're going to store it, and if we don't get a status back, we're going to create a new one with the conference ID, the original not set, and the ID of the user. So down here, actually we can pop up here first. So now we have status. So if we don't have a status in the database, the status is going to be not set. Then down here, when we're saving everything, we are checking, is it null? Never going to happen. Because
No, but we're still checking.
we need to check because
Yeah.
it's nullable. So then I'm doing status.state. So state is the enum with the different things. And then I do next. Now this is an extension method that I found on our trusty Stack Overflow. So basically what this is doing is that it's getting all the values, checking the index of the current value, and increases it by 1 or all the way back to 0, which is kind of cool because this next extension method is everything we need to get like next all the way back to the beginning. I think that's really
Nice.
really cool way of doing it. So let's go back. Where did it go? There we go. So every time I click the button, it's going to go next, and go back. And it's also going to save everything. Now, let's say that we are logged in.
Mm-hmm.
We open the 4-speaker page here.
Jimmy's proud of his magic.
I am.
But
I am in a way.
but was it your magic?
It was Stack Overflow magic.
Stack Overflow
yes,
magic.
It was Stack Overflow
Yeah.
magic. Definitely.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Everything is Stack Overflow magic somehow.
Yeah.
At least one part Stack Overflow magic.
In some way, yeah. But if we go to our 4-speaker page, you'll see that we have a store, we have a store, we have a store. So all of these are running the get, what's the name of it? Get status.
Yeah.
So this is generating a request back to the database. Querying, going back, going back again, going back. And that's not, performance-wise, that's not good, right?
No, it does not sound good, but Jimmy sounded so happy. Let him have this. For sure. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound very resource friendly.
No. So I thought that wouldn't it be nice if this was cached somehow?
It would be nice.
It would be nice, right? So what is happening here is that when we get status async, we're actually getting all of them from the database down here. And if the statuses, which is the collection of all of them, is null, then we're going to go to database, get everything. But if it's not null, it's just going to return, okay, here they are, all of them.
Nice.
And since everything we're doing is going through the API here, there's no other way of things updating.
Yeah.
That's not entirely true because we're going to add a bunch of stuff later. But for all we know right now, statuses is never going to, it's never going to change unless we tell it to change. So if we save, let's see what we got here, save status async, that is also at the end putting it to null. So next time we do it, it's going to do another request to the server, get all of them. Now this is probably a bad idea in the long run because right now it's getting all the statuses. So let's say that in a couple of years I have 1,000 conferences that I'm interested in, I spoke at, or something like that. So we might want to do something clever about that.
Maybe revisit that later.
Yes. Maybe like we're not gonna get statuses for conferences that already happened.
Yeah,
for example,
that
or
makes sense.
maybe we will cut off a year back or something like that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some kind of way to solve that.
That makes sense. But for now, we're looking at tiny baby steps so we can release it and not suck too much.
Yes.
And then come back to it and fix it.
Yes.
Little by little.
We need to have some things left to do more streams, right?
That's true.
Okay, so
Like we have issues coming up with ideas or things we need to do.
So should we continue with the logged in things?
Yeah, sure.
So if I go to my events here, you'll see that I see my events in a list here, and this looks like.
Yeah, it does not. It's not style. Let's call it that.
Yeah, it looks.
We don't have to. We can be children friendly.
So what we can do is that we can pop into the My Events page here, and we can simply. I'm just going to remove all of that virtualize and all of that stuff. Boom. I think let's keep the H1 for now. Okay, I don't hate it, but that's not what we want to do. We kind of want to do that, but we don't want to do it all. So basically, I think it would have been faster to type.
Did you just point out that this stream is not 18 plus? Well, it's more like 5. Because sometimes there's a lot of jokes that are very popular in that age range.
I resent that.
I didn't say it was you.
Didn't
Anyone
you?
anyone who's been here before, they know, but I didn't say it.
So we're going to go to our speaker page. We're going to grab this div thingy.
The div thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the technical term.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to remove this one.
Dukasoft is on your side, I think. Or depending on how you read it. I'm definitely 5 plus humor-wise. There you go. Oh, there we go. Simon says, I thought those jokes were for the Married Geeks channel. Well, apparently they found their way in here as well. Those and puns.
This is actually exactly what I want to do.
Is it helping you?
It is.
Nice.
So what we want to do is we want to add the conference item in the loop, right? And we want to send in the conference item. And we want to probably not show the call for paper. The call for paper dates. I'm not saying that we don't want to do that, but probably don't want to do that. And something, let's see, there we go. This is so helpful, Visual Studio. This is exactly what I wanted. There we go. Okay, so...
It's still a kind of magic here. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so the user status is not the conference. Okay, we might run into problems here. Conference dot So conference name, conference start. Ah. That kinda... Okay, let's think about this. So the problem here is that the conferences here is actually the conference user status. So it's I believe it's an index with all the data.
Mm-hmm.
But we might be able to actually use the index but get back the conference, because that will help us. So let's see what we got here. We got the get conference by user ID. So we're getting all the conferences that in some way we are interested in or have a connection to, right? So we are getting get conference by user ID. We're getting the user, the status. We are getting... Okay, so we're getting... What are we doing here? We're getting the status. We're including the conference ID to a list. And then we're saying get conference user status. We're loading the conference. We're setting... Okay. I'm not sure that we need to do that in this way, but for what we want to do, it's actually helping us. Because what we want to do here is that we want to return a conference instead, and we are getting that from the load async method here. So we could simply return the conference like that. I think we can do it in a better way, but need to think about that for a moment. And we want a list of conferences like so. And we want that to return a conference list instead. Okay. And this one says that conferences are a conference. Why is that? Because we are declaring it. That's why. So let's remove that, and let's remove that. So we might want to change this later on. We do that, and we definitely don't need to specify that twice. Okay, so we got a list of conferences, and we're getting the conferences by user ID.
Right.
And the reason why it looked like that was because we're getting the status back as well. But we don't need that since we're loading the status using the conference item.
Mm-hmm.
So if we run this now, let's see what we got here. Boom.
There you go.
And we see that we attended
that
Visual
one.
Studio live,
Yeah.
and we're
NDC.
interested in NDC here.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe in the future we want to be able to like sort it. So these are the ones, or at least filter it.
Yeah.
But we
For
can
sure.
we can do that.
For sure, but that's version 2 or 3 or 4. Because we need to fix the color issues, and we need to fix the contrast issues and other stuff before that.
But this is useful.
Yes, for sure.
So I don't want to... Let's remove this one.
What you could go in it.
Huh?
What? Color issues? Again? There's always color issues. Always. We skipped one of them last time, even though we knew there was an issue, like the search bar, for instance. So we're going to fix that because there's no contrast there, and it is not good. And I haven't, and my events when you're logged in, that one is also very bad contrast on. Just make everything black and red and green and you're home. No, you're not. That's not accessible. Also, ow.
Okay, so we got our events looking good.
Yeah.
So there's one more feature, and that is a very undocumented one called calendar.
Yes.
Apparently super undocumented because it's just blew up. Okay, still working. Great.
That button or label or whatever
It's
it is. No, it's not.
So the
It's
question
hideous.
here,
That's what it is.
so the question here is, so we have a couple of things that is happening here or can happen here. One of them is that we can use what we know inside of the system. So we got the NDC as we're interested in NDC. So we can activate the calendar, and by doing so, get access to a URL that we can use inside Outlook, for example.
Yeah, so an iCal.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that is very useful because, especially if you are more than one person, like in our case, it's good for me to know when you have stuff, and it's good for you to know when I have stuff.
Yeah.
Or it's good for us to know we can sync this with our calendar booking thing we have for our podcast so we don't overlap and stuff like that.
So what I'm thinking is that the calendar, the URL for the calendar, first of all, we need to activate the calendar.
Hey, friends!
Hey!
Fritz
Sharp
friends!
Fritz rated my stream with 99 viewers.
Welcome, welcome. Yay!
So let's
Recap?
let's recap. What are we doing?
We are building a website. Thank you for the follow. We are
Donkey
building a
Konga is
website
now
in
following.
C# or Blazor. Well,
Same thing.
same thing, different name. And we're using RavenDB. We are putting in the finishing touches. Thank you for the follow.
Advisory dude is now following.
And we have some small issues we need to fix before we officially go live with the page, and then we will come back and fix that. So right now,
And with finishing touches, we mean
base
we can release it.
Everyone is
That's
now
what we're talking
mirror,
about. Yeah.
mirror the yeah. Let's say we don't have a high bar for
Fake is
our
now
first
following.
releasable version. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so let's see. Blazor, yes, we are fans. We are huge fans.
So what I'm thinking
Yes.
is that the calendar, so the activate calendar, I kind of want to have to activate the calendar.
Upload 89
Yeah.
So
is now
it doesn't.
following.
Everyone has a calendar just magically.
Yeah.
So I want to. You need to click the
Thank you for
activate
the follow.
calendar,
Nothing
and then you're gonna
is
get a
now
URL
following.
that you can
that
put
makes
into
sense.
Outlook.
That makes sense. We
Yeah.
don't want to force people to have calendars, and we don't want people to be able to lurk on other calendars.
So I'm thinking for now, I think that this could be a setting page. I'm thinking like up here, just by my events or logout, we could add a what they're called cogwheels, just for these are the settings, and we're just going to take all the settings we have, which is 2
For now.
and just put them into one page.
Yeah. Yep.
Great.
And that is also we could look into. Right now, we are using prefer dark and prefer light theme.
Yes.
But we could also look into actually having that as a setting, because sometimes some pages you want in light theme and some in dark, but we're on different sites on what color theme we should have. But we could also have a medium page, a medium
Yes.
theme as well, because sometimes
And a Halloween theme and a Christmas theme.
well,
and,
we already have the colors for the holiday
yeah.
ones, the Halloween So yeah, let's do that. That's good. So we need a settings page.
Yes. So I'm thinking. So right now it's called calendar. Let's rename that one. Let's do that. Let's do it in steps here.
Baby steps.
Let's go into calendar page, and this is actually a rename settings page. Oh, this is annoying. Apparently, I'm not following my own standards. So let's rename this one as well to... I'm not sure about this standard, to be honest, because I think I did this when I was a little bit on the fence, whether or not a component should be a component name, and something that is named component in a components folder, should they have a page directive? Or should we have a folder called page or pages where we have all of those? I think I've changed since I started this. So I'm usually saying that, well, we're going to have everything in components and, well, end of
it's
sentence.
just a personal preference, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
so it doesn't really matter super much. So like you say to me, when it comes to color and accessibility, let's do baby step. It doesn't have to be perfect.
So we're going to do settings like that. There we go. Now this page we need to show a little bit more love, I'm sure, but let's...
I'm pretty sure we need to show it a lot of
sure?
love. A lot of love, not a little love.
Let me
And especially
rebuild
since
this.
it's blue.
Okay, let's see here. There we go. Okay, so if I click activate calendar, which we obviously need to make,
We need to redesign, yeah, for
so
sure.
I can click activate calendar.
Oof. And we have more things we need to fix.
So suddenly I get a sessionized URL, and I think it should actually
So
pop up.
sessionized, well, basically this page, which we didn't explain, we just said what techniques we're using. This page is a page for conferences. So if you're a speaker, you can go and find speaking gigs.
Yes.
And one of those providers are Sessionize, where you can where we can find the data. There's also other pages we are getting the data from, and you can also look for, as an attendee, you can look for conferences that you want to go. You can search for .NET, for instance, or Blazor, and see if you can find a conference near you. And we also have for organizers, because sometimes it's hard to find dates when we should have our conference, so it doesn't clash with some other conference that are similar to ours.
Yes. So we can go through them here real quickly here. So for speakers, finding the speaking gig. Attendees, find whatever is going on right now.
Yeah.
And for organizers, you can see that. Okay,
Yeah, we have a heat map.
Yeah. So there's apparently these dates are very bad because every conference is happening
I think
those
actually
dates.
that's Azure Bootcamp
Yes,
Day,
yes.
because they go parallel in all over the world. And this is also if you want to cooperate with other conferences and maybe share the speaker travel cost.
Yes.
We can find that as well. So that's basically what the page is doing. And we have a login with different settings and stuff that
Yes.
we're working on.
So if we could
Show love to this object. Hug the monitor. Yes. Like the 90s, we slapped the things that went wrong. Yeah, that's true. The TV, you just smack it on the side and it worked.
Oh, reception's back.
Yeah.
So in Sessionize, you can go to speaker,
Yeah.
which is my upcoming things.
Yes.
And I can say add to your calendar.
Right.
And then I'm going to get a Sessionize ID or a calendar from Sessionize. I can copy that one. Can go back. I can paste in the Sessionize URL and click save. So now apparently, I get the URL that I need to see all my events.
From Sessionize.
No, from our site. So
got it.
It's a little bit wonky. Where I don't think this should be connected.
Yeah.
Right now, the Sessionize URL is inside the calendar URL or the calendar object in the database. It might continue to be that way, but
Yeah, let's figure it out.
Yeah, maybe we should just...
You still hit your things and it works? Well, that's good for you. But you should be nice to your machine, so in the uprising, they don't kill you. That's my philosophy.
So the cool thing now is that I saved the Sessionize URL.
Yeah.
So if I go back to my events here, boom.
Hey, look at that.
So now I'm speaking at TechROM, I'm speaking at SweetHug, and I'm speaking at Update Conf
but
Prod.
I see that the iconography is off here.
Is it?
Isn't it? Oh, it's because you're accepted. Got it. Yeah. Sorry. You added them today, so.
So accepted.
Nice. Okay.
Accepted.
That's
and
pretty cool.
What do you know? Accepted. So so now we are connected to Sessionize, and so right now we're not updating regularly. We're not updating at all, actually. So it just when I added that Sessionize URL, we downloaded the data, and we're never going to touch it again.
Yeah, so if you get accepted to another conference, it's won't
not going to update.
Yeah,
no.
okay.
But we're obviously going to fix that.
Yeah, at a later date.
Yes, probably tomorrow. The thing is, the site is two parts. We have a backend, which is Azure Function, but we do have access to some APIs that are not public, and they don't want us to show that on stream.
Of course.
So that part is actually not open source.
But the rest is.
The rest is. But typically, that update is going to be in an Azure function, and it's going to be in the backend. Now, one could argue that we could do multiple Azure functions. It's actually going to be multiple Azure functions, but in multiple projects. But I don't think we're going to do that. I don't think we're going to keep the backend, add everything to the Azure function we have right now, instead of breaking it up. Maybe in the future. But so by the time we say, hey, you know what, we're going to go live, this is going to update once a day or something, at least.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we need to kind of fix the settings.
Just wondering, did you change the 900-year event? Yeah, there was this one conference that went on in 900 years or whatever.
Yeah, that is still in the database.
Yeah.
So what?
Well, it's because we got the wonky data.
Yeah. So what we are doing in most filterings is that we say that if the event is longer than 10 days, it's probably broken, so it should be removed.
Yeah.
I think it's 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think maybe we should... I'm thinking how we would do this in a good way.
How would do what? What is this?
The settings page. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to... I want to be able to activate the calendar. I don't want it to be tied to Sessionize. Or the alternative is that we just activate the calendar and it's always active. That's basically what we have. Is we have a document collection called calendar, I think. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should just rename that and say, you know what, this is not calendars, it's settings. And in those settings, you have we could add a on or off for the calendar, but we always, as soon as you log in, we're gonna make sure that that setting is created. That maybe it's better.
Okay.
Better scenario, I think. So let's take a look here. Look at that. We got calendar, right? So we have user ID, which is a GUID, I believe. The sessionized calendar URL, and we have an ID, which is the Raven ID.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Or is it?
You tell me. You wrote the code.
No, the user ID should be the ID from auth0. So that ID is probably the I don't even know.
Might be RavenDB.
Might be. Let's see. Let's take a look here. It's the settings page. I think it. So the calendar URL is tied to URL.
I think Lavasoft is questioning why you're asking this question, because you know this best. We don't.
So the user ID is the ID of the user that is logged in.
Okay.
But where do we get the ID from then? Save.
The GET request for the event under a user is not publicly available from Sessionize, right?
Right.
Right. Are you finding your way?
This one is. I have apparently forgotten where the ID for the calendar. So the ID for the URL or the ID. Let me just stop talking for a while, and I'm just gonna try and figure this out first. So
There
the
you
user
go.
ID, yeah, got that one. Save calendar, got that one. Sessionize, okay, so that it's this method I wanna. All right, here it is.
Found it.
So the it's actually creating a new GUID that is going to be at the end of the URL.
Right.
So it's basically going to be like nexttechevent.com/calendar/ the new GUID. So that is the secret link, basically.
Simon says, in my experience, writing code and remembering what said code does are two very different things.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's always like, if you're working alone, you're like, yeah, this and that and this and everything is totally clear. And as soon as you're going to show it to someone, it's like,
Out the window.
who wrote this? Oh man, it's me.
Yeah. Something like that.
This is probably the worst function ever.
What does it say?
Jimmy Engstrom. So I wrote this code.
Oh, yeah. I see. Story of my life. Well, that's development. Acting. Jim isn't acting. He's like this.
So let's see here. Let's do that. Let's break everything.
Oh, we're breaking things now?
I think we are.
Okay.
I think it's
Okay.
time. So let's.
It's been a while.
Has it?
Yeah, a few minutes, at least.
So let's go for calendar. Let's rename this one. Let's call it settings. Settings. There we go. Do you want yada 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 perform rename? Yes.
You sound so sure of yourself.
Well, it depends. Does it work? I want to do it. If it doesn't work, I don't want to do it. That's what we're talking about. So let's see what happened here. Let's see if Visual Studio actually figured this one out. So the setting page is using, so this is still called calendar, which makes sense because we just changed the object name. Ah, look at that, settings. So if we rename this one, why are you not working? Is this not how you do it?
I don't know what this is because we can't see what you're doing.
So F2 should be able to rename it. Okay. So let's do it the hard way then.
Maybe you have the FN button pressed in.
I
or something.
didn't.
Oh.
At least I didn't think I have. Okay, so we're renaming the settings. So renaming that one. Renaming this one. And 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 this one.
Oh, one more.
And this one. And something
You broke it?
I definitely did. And this one. Okay. So something is absolutely still broken. So let's scroll up.
Because you have
so this
another...
one is also,
yeah.
and this one.
Yeah, Lavasoft asks, is there not a shortcut for that, Jimmy?
I thought it was F2, but apparently it didn't work for me today. So that one.
So little manual labor for you.
Let's face it, we've all done this at some point.
Yeah, but then you forget this one pesky hidden one.
And now apparently...
Yay! Milky Visual Studio! Okay, but we can, if that is going to...
So this is Visual Studio's way of hurting me back. Because it's like, well, you're like changing and doing stuff and you're talking smack about me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change to light mode.
There you go. But we could switch over to my
sure.
computer to this one. No? Because it's this one. There we go. I don't know left from right.
Yeah.
And also we have different icons for the cameras. So this is the page where you can extract styles from a web page. And it's
Nice.
also a very, very fast test to see how much we suck at sticking to our stuff. For instance, this is what they say we have background colors. This is our yellow, that is correct. This is our light theme, that is correct. But this one is an old one.
Do you have the yellow as a background color?
No, but it thinks it's the background color because we have it behind the nav bar.
Okay, right.
And also I found some other issues. Like we are using pure black and pure white. And for me, that's a big no-no. So we need to find those. And look at this. What the? We can't do this. This is not okay.
But if you look at just a little bit above the mouse pointer. Na.
Yeah, it says na. But this is also not very pretty that we're using 500 gazillion things here. So we need to tighten that up. Apparently it interprets this a little bit differently. And this is of course the light theme that it looked at because I have light theme in this browser. However, we did find a few colors that we can look for and see what's going on. But while we are talking about colors, let me put in the yellow color here. Color is good, right?
So
we like color.
Yeah.
We like color.
Yeah.
And usually you only have 1 or 2 accent colors, like the in-your-face, draw attention colors.
Yeah.
There is a way to do a little bit more dynamic color. And that is if you're using a color in, let's make Adobe Color work for us. So if you're using a color either like this in a triad, or you can use the opposite color as well. So opposite of our yellow would be some bluish color. However, the purple one would pop very good on our background image because it has a little bit tint of purple. So to add to that, we could actually use some purple on that. So I have prepared a color for that.
This is something I did earlier.
No, actually,
Now it's your turn.
This is something Adobe did for me. I only put in our main color, our yellow color here, and it just gives me whatever color I need. And this is why I like tools like this. I don't have to know a lot of things to get colors that works together. I can get help going through all of this. So we have a purple color, and we will get a little bit more dynamic and maybe a little bit more excitement as well. Are you ready to change back? Are you still milky?
I'm not milky, but I am.
Jess Magic is different. Yeah, mine is more colorful, isn't it? And also, I really recommend this page, Stylify Me. There's other pages like this as well. It's a very quick way to find oopsies that you have made. Especially when you're working with colors, you are iterating new colors and, oh, okay, this was a little bit too light. Let's try this one. So we have like a zillion colors we have tried. So this is a good way to see, to make sure that you haven't hard-coded anything. I'm looking at you. I'm not saying you did hard-code any colors. I'm just saying that for some reason we have pure white and pure black here. And I would never.
So earlier in the stream, you were like, "Oh, I'm not ready." So you talk.
Oh, is it the other way around now?
I think so.
Okay, so I can continue because other things that we also have noticed on the page is that we are using our headers wrong. We should only have one H1, and we should have an H1. So any screen readers can actually interpret what is the header of the page. And down here, we have done something unforgivable and used an H4. We did that. And we cannot have an H1 and an H4. We need to go down just one step. So we need to look into our hierarchy here as well on the pages. So we don't... I think I found what the pure white is. It's this one.
Sounds reasonable.
But if we are changing that to a purple, this is dark magic. No, it's accessibility. It's what it is. It's being inclusive in your design. Yeah, for sure we could pick up some purple in this one if we have either a border around or a drop shadow, so it's actually readable if you resize the screen. Dark since it needs fixing. Okay, so it is dark magic, and we are going to do some good magic and light magic. We're going to transform it into that. Okay, do you still need me to...
I need you to... a couple more minutes.
Yeah, okay, so sometimes... where is it? Sometimes you need a placeholder text, right? When you're just developing and you haven't got your stuff ready yet. You can use cat ipsum.
I'm sorry. What did I do?
You said talk. I can talk. Look at this. We want 3 paragraphs. Like, let's see. Oh my gosh, it's a wall of text, isn't it? Meow, meow, you're my owner, so here is a dead rat. I will ruin the couch with my claws. Yeah, you see, you get a bunch of kitty stuff. However...
So, can you actually say how many clauses you want?
Yes. Claws? Yeah. But I think Jimmy will... meow! Yes, exactly. I think Jimmy would like this one better. There's a bacon Ipsum. So you can get a lot of bacony stuff instead. So there's a bunch of things. I mean, we all need tools for development, right?
Right.
There's even... what is the URL for that? Placeholder. There's cat placeholder images that you can. It's called Place Kitten. You can get a random kitty if you're developing your webpage and you just need to share bacon. Okay, the link to the bacon. I will share the bacon. Bacon Ipsum. There's even that's not how you do it. Come on, Twitch, where are you? Somewhere. Oh, then it will be. Can I send it here? Yes. Come on. Here is bacon Ipsum. There's even image holder placeholders with. There's one page that was a little bit fed up with all the cutesy dogs and kitties and stuff like that. So they have bearded men. Random bearded men.
I think I am.
Why do I feel the urge to actually use it? I know, right? All the Ipsums in the world. But I did find some really fun ones for... is it this one that had a whole list of fun stuff you can have? Hoder Ipsum. We can have hipster Ipsum. Zombie. Cupcakes. DeLorean. Then it will talk in Back to the Future. Yeah, so there's a bunch of fun stuff.
I think I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready? There we go.
So, what I did while Jessica...
Black magic?
Yeah, I did a little bit of black magic. No, so what I did was that I renamed the calendar class to settings. Mm-hmm. And then I went into our API, which is here. And I renamed or changed the name of instead of calendar, I said settings, and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this is why I absolutely love RavenDB, or I guess document databases in general.
Yeah, but since that's the one you've been working with most, you say
yeah. I don't know if other document databases works like
this. They might as well.
I assume they do, but
yeah.
But basically, what I did was that I renamed settings, went through all of the places where it said calendar, changed it to settings. Everywhere there where the variable was called calendar, I changed it to settings, right? Other than that, you see that I'm getting a session from Raven. I'm storing the item. I'm saying nothing like the document store name or whatever. I'm just saying, you know what, store it and save it. So if we go into RavenDB, you'll see that I still have calendars because this was the old calendar, right? So I can just say, you know what, I don't need the calendar anymore because I've put everything in settings. So I can delete that one. Boom. Boom. And we have our settings right here.
That's nice.
It's super nice. Compare this to SQL Server. You would have to create a table. You need to migrate that perhaps. If you're using code first, it would be a little bit easier, but you still would have to do a migration and stuff like that. This just, you take an object, you push it into the database, and the database is like, what's this? Oh, it's the settings. Okay, I'm going to put that in the settings collection.
That's nice. I like when you get help.
I know. So now we have replaced all of the calendars and we only have settings now. And I mean, what did that, how long did you speak for? Like,
I know, what cats, bacon, there was images, there was bearded men images. Yeah, so about 4 pages.
that's the timing we use.
Yes.
4 pages.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm thinking we can leave the settings for now and pop to the colors that you spoke of.
Yes.
So what are we doing?
So first of all, we need to change the bright white here because it's a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So do I remember the color name? No, I don't.
So now I need to remember where I put
Well, you
that.
can search for pure white because we do not want that anywhere on our page. And the reason I'm so hostile towards pure white and pure black is rooted in accessibility. It's really not pure white and pure white is not pure white and pure black is not bad. It's just the combination is horrible for accessibility. Even for normal sighted people, it's still horrible because when you read with that type of contrast, that massive amount of contrast, you will get eye strain and you can even read the text when you look away from the screen.
Yeah.
So usually we use some sort of near black and off white. So that's why I know we're not using white. However, if you're using a near black, you can use pure white on that if you want to. So it's not the white, it's the combination.
So I believe that this is the component. Find your next tech event.
Yes. But the styling is called something iffy. It had it had a funny name. It wasn't like a name that made sense.
What was it, like random letters?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
it's not actually the styling, but
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
thought it was.
But what we can do here is that we have 2 options basically. So we can say that the span, add a class to that one, or we can say, you know what, all the spans inside of this should be something else. This is usually what I prefer to do instead of adding like classes and stuff like that. If you look at all of these samples, you see that the intro text has one, the intro heading text uppercase. So I found a very nice site that had a lot of the stylings that we needed for this site, and I used that.
Then it's now Frankensteined.
It is. So there's a lot of things that we could do, like to clean this up, basically. But let's see here. So we got
have a
span.
question.
All right.
If I got a black background, how far down must the text come from pure white? I would actually suggest you check with a contrast checker. And you want to land somewhere between 14.5, maybe 15, up to an 18. Should we pop back to my computer to show how that can look?
Sure.
And it is the left screen, even though it's the right of me. So there's a bunch of accessibility tools, and there's one called contrastchecker.com. I just happened to be in this page.
It just happened to be here.
Because we were here before. So if we do the pure black here, and let's start out with the pure, one more. Pure white, you can see we get a ratio of 21:1. So what we want to do is actually, we can ask it to set it to somewhere between, I usually prefer around 15, 16. So let's say 15.5. Oh, that's not how you do a half. There we go. And we can ask it to fix it for us. In this case, it is giving us some light gray with a little bit of a blue hint. So that's basically what you can do. Just check the contrast ratio. If you want it to be even, I would say don't go over 18, maybe 19 maximum, because then it starts to hurt your eyes again.
I think this is kind of interesting because I would normally think that the more contrast, the better.
Yeah.
But that is not actually the case.
But if we're looking, if I scroll in here a little, if you're looking here, this is just 18:1. We're not even close to 20 yet. Let's say 19. All of a sudden, you start to see a little bit haloing on the letters. Not all people get this haloing, but a lot of people do. And even if you don't get the mushy haloing, you will still get a little bit tired when you're reading text like this or seeing images and stuff like that. So if we'll just drag it down a little, it's already starting to become a little bit better. My preferred is around here somewhere, because now I don't have the haloing as much, but I still have a kick-ass contrast.
I just realized, because I am very sensitive to the haloing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the reason for that is that I'm astigmatic.
Okay. Yeah,
so that is one of the tests that they do. Like, are you seeing the lines, or are they like blurring together and stuff like that? Right. So it's that extra crisp that I'm missing. And I usually, when I'm like streaming or watching TV, I have glasses. When I'm in front of my computer, I don't, because it's close enough
for you.
Yes.
For me, and this is also different for different people. I actually prefer light theme. I know you don't, but I prefer light theme because I find the haloing a little bit lower here for me, even in higher contrast. There are recommendations. If you can find this in every tool possible, even in the web browser development tool. There are two different kinds of recommendations. It's AA, which is the lowest possible accessibility when it comes to contrast. I would suggest not even going there, because it's crappy. It's what it is. And if you look at the AAA, we can actually go down quite a bit. We can go down to 7.5, I believe, and we can still have good contrast. But as soon, no, it doesn't. There we go. Now we're failing the contrast over here. So definitely do check out, I think it's contrastchecker.com. Contrastchecker.com. Yeah. So this one is from Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, the whatever their name is. That is eluding my brain right now. So you can check it here as well. So definitely check your colors.
Cool.
The floor is yours again.
So I fixed it.
You fixed it? Oh my, come on! What are you doing? So the color is 900 CAD, I believe. Let me check if I actually got that right.
900 CAD.
Let me see. Did I do it? Ship it! Don't encourage him! Oh, you wanted... Oh, yeah, well, I pivoted away. Yeah, but if we are going to use the purple, we need to have either a shadow or a frame around it. Okay. It's not called... It looks perfect. Yes, ship it.
Yeah, so let's see how you do that.
You do shadow, and then... No, you need to do that on the text, because it's a text shadow. And then you put in how much shadow you want.
Text shadow there.
Yes, and then you put in, like, let's say 0.2 rems.
0.2 rem.
And then 0.2 rem again. So it's how much down and to the right. and then the color of it. Then we want to use our... Oh my gosh, you're using the red again? Yeah,
Okay.
that's not horrible at all. We should use our light color, the off-white thingy. The light background color, maybe?
Let's see what.
No, the text color. We want the text color.
Text color.
Yeah, the
Do we
dark
call it
theme.
text color?
I don't know what we're calling it because we have changed so many names. No change. Ship it. Don't encourage him.
Okay, let's see here. We got the accents. We got the dark.
Yeah, we need to go through these names because... Oh, I think it's just called light. -- light.
This one?
Yes, I think so. I mean, we did use the CSS variables to make things easier. However, we have so many different variables, so it's not even easy anymore.
Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah, but it didn't look that good. It looked better in my head.
Okay.
Much better. Okay. Yeah. So is there a way we can get a stroke around it or something?
Stroke?
No. What's ship the head.
Select one of the stroke values.
That is like under...
Red.
No. I think it's asking for underline and strike through and things like that. That's what I think it's asking for. Okay, let's go to internet. We have a text and we want it in CSS. CSS borders. No, it's not a border. We want the text thingy. Okay, so let's go into text formatting then. Is there a way you can actually do that? Or is it just in like word art we can do stuff like that? Text color properties. No, that's not the one. Maybe you can't actually do text decoration. There's a text decoration line. No, that's a line through and stuff like that. Huh.
Let's see what we got here. So what do we want? We want...
Can we do it with a font?
I want to... I want the CSS for text with the color and
I'm not sure it's actually doable.
white. What did we call it? Text shadow? Text shadow?
But the shadow...
And a border around the letters.
But then we don't want the shadow. But that doesn't wait. I don't think there is actually CSS for that. I'm checking the font and I'm checking the text, but...
Text stroke.
Yeah, but that's underline, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
Let's see what we got.
Because there is strokes.
Well, that looked horrible.
Yeah, because you kept the shading, with the shadow, and we don't want the shadow if we're doing the rest of it. Oh, it's using the WebKit. Okay. Whew. Yeah, that's pretty.
Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah, for sure. No.
Now, we can also remember that this is an image. So
Yeah.
we could do it in some other way.
We will probably have to do that. We could inverse the colors, but I don't think that's...
Yeah, I don't think that looked
No.
very...
No. not at all.
Very not nice.
Looks 90s-ish.
Okay, so the question is...
Then for now, keep it our light color.
Our light color.
Yeah.
That would be the...
Dash light.
Var dash light.
Yeah.
Light. Boom.
So at least we got rid of the contrast isn't
Did this
good.
explode? What's up with this?
I don't know. Exploding web page.
I broke something.
It wouldn't be a stream if it didn't break anything.
What is going on? Let me see.
What does it say?
JavaScript interrupts. It's actually a Telerik blowing up.
What? Why?
There we go.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's...
Random things.
yeah, I think it's the...
Jimmy shot the sheriff. Yes, I think so.
when we're resizing, or actually when hot reload is doing stuff, it kind of gets a little bit wonky, I think.
Okay. Got it. We also need to change the my events
Would
color.
it be nice to have a... Let me test this. You're gonna hate this.
Yeah, probably. Are you going to use the color red again?
What did you use? You used shadow.
Yeah.
Text shadow. Text.
Text dash shadow.
Shadow. And
And then you say how large.
what did you use?
0.2
rems.
rems.
0.2 rem.
And then if you want it blurry, you also put in another set of numbers. If you want it blurry.
That's better.
That is better. But we wanted the color to be purple.
Yes.
That was the beginning.
But this is better.
Yes, for sure. So skip the purple for now.
Yeah. Okay. We also talked about this color.
Yeah. For now, I would say have the same color as we have for the card, the background card.
Base?
Yes.
Okay.
And let's use the same font color, but dim it a little bit so it looks, it doesn't get the same hierarchy. And we need a frame around it as well. Card background. We have a card background. We have a light and a dark.
Right. So this one, input background color should be that one. And did I save? I did save. But it's not.
No.
Nothing is happening. So sometimes hot reload doesn't do exactly what we want it to do.
Yeah, that is true.
That is absolutely not changing. Okay, let's see here.
But where did you put it? Do we have a form? No, we have an input. Okay.
That one is... So card background
Yeah.
is that one up here.
Mm-hmm.
And this
But
one...
we are resetting that whether we have light or dark theme preferred.
Card background.
Yeah. So this is if we have the dark theme.
Input... Oh, look at that. Input background color.
Yeah. So it's hard-coded.
So
there
we
you go.
want to have this one instead. Input background.
No wonder it didn't.
Right.
And you have a... Yeah. There you go. Hot reload.
No.
No? No hot reload.
There we go.
There we go. And we need to change the text color as well.
So what do we want for the text color?
The same, but with a little bit of opacity. Maybe 80 or 90%. The same as the rest of the text colors.
So this text
Yes.
color. So the input board is not input border color. It's the, what is it?
It's the one that's just called color. Oh, okay, you meant that one. Okay. Sorry.
So it's this search one color. There we go. PS body color. That is the worst name ever.
Yes.
So it's actually in here. So the BS body color, and then you want opacity.
No, but we don't want the BS body color. We want the actual color that we are using on the cards, which is not the BS one.
It is actually that one, because
Okay.
we are rewriting that one up here somewhere there.
So why
this
aren't
is
they the same then? If it's the same color used, why aren't they the same?
If there's the same color.
You are saying that both the input text color and the card background color are the same. So why doesn't it show up as the same on the page? I'm saying it's not the same. You see? Two different colors.
Why? Oh. This one is dark. This one is light.
Yeah.
So this
For the
one-
light theme. You're
for the
looking
li-
at the
yeah,
light
for the-
theme.
For the light theme.
Yeah.
And for the dark theme, it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So the BS body color should be
This is the problem with
okay.
using
So this is
Bootstrap.
the okay. All right. This color is the correct one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That color is the
Yes,
the
the
placeholder color.
Yes, exactly.
And that is something completely different.
There you go.
Okay, so you're saying that the placeholder color.
Yes.
And how do you set that?
I don't know.
How do I change the placeholder color using CSS?
What? But it. Okay. Why does it do a pseudo element? That's. You.
That's just how you do it.
Okay.
Didn't know that you could do that just by doing it like that. So we want to
Coding with OpenAI.
that is not what I wanted to do. So, oh, come on.
Copy pasting is not your thing today.
Do not make me type. Okay, so that would be the...
That is the purple color that you have there.
there we go. Is that good?
Yeah. Lovely.
So we want the BG... this one.
Just type it, then ship it.
There we go.
And then we want an opacity of, I don't know, there is an opacity underneath. 0.8 maybe?
0.8.
When we do want the same opacity on the framing. Yeah, that's probably good enough for the input. That would be red, right? You are onto him. That's his testing color. But the frame around, we want the same.
So this one.
Yeah, it should also be the 80% thingy, and it should be on all the time because it's an input box.
Okay, on all the time. So that would be a border.
Yeah, because
It actually is. But you want another color.
I want the same color as we have on the text.
You want this.
Yeah,
color.
exactly.
Huh.
I have demands. Can you help me with physics? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe there's someone in a chat room. We are talking Blazor, and that's Blazor and CSS.
Yeah.
And that's
How do I
probably where our knowledge stops.
opacity to a CSS variable?
Could we do that? Oh, RGBA.
Oh, look at
There
that.
you go.
Okay.
That's a nice one.
So basically I want to do that. And
That's my basic knowledge as well. I know when I drop things, they fall. Yeah, sorry.
that did not do the trick, did I? Did I
Did I
not
say?
read the instructions correctly? No, I didn't, because it wants the all of the different RGB
Okay.
in
Okay.
separate.
So we can just figure out what color that actually becomes, and we can put that in.
Yes, that would be an option.
Yeah, that's a little bit easier. And a workaround.
The question is, how are we going to figure that one out?
With a color picker.
We could actually do it horrifically like this. Like that.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing now?
So that we are changing the body color.
Yeah. Are you breaking your
Or are we
brain?
changing the body color? I think we are.
What we should do at a later state as well is go through all our pixels, because I see we have the border we have, no, the padding we have in the input box is pixels, which is not good. If we have a responsive page, we should use rems or ems there.
Okay, let's do 37.
What are you doing now?
37 is 20. No. Like that. 37 is 55.
Oh, we're doing it the difficult way.
And 38 would probably be 56. No. What am I saying? 38. 58. What did I do? 55, 56. 56. And the last one is 2E. 2E or not 2E? 2E. 46. 46. And we do not need any opacity for this one.
But did you take the color that was dark? It looked like the color was dark when you hovered. Didn't it? That color is dark, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's a background.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, I hate everything.
That's why I didn't understand what you were doing.
This is the one we want. But that's the light color. We want it to adapt, right?
Yeah.
But this is always white, isn't it?
It went off the rails, yes. So let us figure out the border at another time. It still is better than we had it before.
So like that.
Yeah, well, I thought we had the white border on it.
No,
The
only
problem-
when we're selecting
Oh, okay. Because the problem is if there's no frame around this, it just looks like a mini version of the search result.
it. But if we just want so input border color, let's do like this just to be sure what we're doing here. If that is actually doing
Yay, more
something.
red colors.
It's not doing anything. There we go. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is working. It's like the selected color is
Yeah,
off,
and it
but that
can
is
be
working.
it can be the same for now.
So what we want is we want the surrounding color, the input border color. So we want to change that one. The input border color is medium light darker right now.
Yeah, the naming of that is... That's also something we need to do.
So if we simply change that one,
But that's for the light theme you're looking at again. That's the dark theme.
so the
Medium
input
darker.
border color medium darker.
So it should be the input border color. Shouldn't it? It shouldn't be the variable. It should be the outer variable or whatever you want. Name it another headache. Yeah, it's... we have a light darker and a medium light
we
darker.
Definitely need to rethink some of these.
Yeah, and some of them we are actually not even using anymore. But shouldn't it be the same as input border color? Because that's the one we are setting in dark and light theme.
But this is the one that we want to change, right? The input border color.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. I was thinking that's the one. Yes. I had a brain fart.
Okay, just leave it.
Yeah. But we do need to have a frame. So please at least set it to white or something. Or light. Set it to light for now.
But isn't that gonna look horrific when it comes to?
Oh, the light theme.
Okay, let's do it like this. If we just change, if we do the body color.
Is it something in the water? Yeah, probably.
Not there.
This is why we usually don't stream more than 90 minutes, because that's our brain capacity.
Search. There we go. So the color Right. So if we do it like that, that is absolutely not what I wanted to do. It was the wrong place. I want to do it up here. There we go. Boom, boom, reload, and boom.
Yeah, it's better. Because it needs to have the border for it to look like an input form.
I'm not a fan of having the same color.
Me neither. But it's just for now because the one we had before was crappier, and it will. We need to look into what color goes with the scheme,
because this kind of feels like it's disabled.
Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't feel disabled. It feels like it's a smaller version of the cards because it's identical color.
Yeah, but an input box that is gray is for me disabled.
Yeah. But then everything would look disabled for you on this page.
But this isn't an input box, so that's the difference.
Yeah.
So this.
But we need to fix it. But it's at least we have a frame around it, so it looks like an input.
Yeah.
But for sure, we need to change the colors.
Okay, so ship it.
Sure. No, we still have crap. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, we need to still fix a few things, but we can still fix it. Well, Lavasoft is on your side, so he says yes.
There we go. All right. So
is it shipped?
It is on its way, at least. So I believe that you have still something left to do.
It's called patches, he says. Downloadable content, yeah. Or rating, as you were insinuating, right? Let's see who's online. We have Jessica Mark is on talking software and game development. So let's do that.
Mark Miller.
Mark Miller, was he on?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Mark Miller is on. Let's go.
He had fewer folks in there, so...
Oh, there we go. Invasion time. So until next time. Bye.